All right. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Oh my goodness. I am so excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited for tonight. I know we have a little bit of a late start. Please forgive me. We have some technical difficulties, but we are here. So if you are on, hey, Marsha. If you are on, go ahead and say hi so I can say hi back to you. Go ahead and press the share button because we are going to have a great conversation tonight. I am super excited about tonight's conversation. Like I said, if you're on, say hello. I look at it as if you come onto someone's live to watch, it's almost like coming in their house. At least you can do is speak. So let's say hi. I want to say hi back to you. I love interactive chatting. So if you want to chime in on the conversation tonight, please feel free to do so. This is why I am having mature conversations. So if you have not watched the first two mature conversations that I have had so far, what is mature conversations? What is it about? So it's basically things that we don't talk about. When I say we, that means men, women, things that we don't talk about too much, or we have maybe private conversations with our friends and our family, but there are just so much things that we need to discuss, right, as adults, but we don't. And that is what creates room for misunderstandings. It's always good to have open conversation and dialogue with people because that's how you learn. No matter how old we are not too old to learn. Hey, Martise. We're not too old to learn something new. We're not too old or not too set in our ways to expand our minds to different ways of thinking. And so that is what mature conversations is about. Just really having a mature conversation about different topics. And so this is my third episode in my first one of 2022, and I am so excited for tonight because I have a special guest. I'm going to get her on shortly. As soon as I see her on, I'm going to bring her in on the live. I have a very special guest tonight. So before I get into who my special guest is, I need you all to go ahead and spread this word. There she goes. I need you to go ahead and just spread this word that Mature Conversations is on, because a few people were waiting and we were supposed to start at 8. But we're here now, right? Better late than never. So I'm going to bring her on and then I will go ahead and introduce her. So for now, again, if you're watching, say hi so I can say hi back. Go ahead and share this broadcast with someone else because it just might help somebody save a friendship, a relationship. It might help save them on their job. It might help them be a better person in general. It just might help them. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get her on. And she should be on. See her face, and she is on. And she should be coming on in just a moment. There we go. Hi.
Thank you.
Hi. Okay, so if you do not know, the lady at the bottom of the screen, this is Dr. Tish Coleman. I call her my sister. I call her one of my best friends. She calls me her twin. That's my special name. So I want to always, when I have someone on, I love to always give them a spotlight, right? As far as we want to know more about Tish. So I can tell you, I did this with Naquita. Hey, Naquita. Hey, Leah.
Hey,
I did
Nikita.
this. I did this with Naquita. How did I meet Tish? So I met Tish a couple of years ago when I was asked to speak at a women's symposium, and I spoke about like health and wellness, and I also spoke about, hey, Marsha.
Hey,
I also
Marsha.
I also spoke about just really health and wellness and how I got to, my journey of living a better life. And Tish, she was like the key speaker. So there were other women speaking, but she went up last. I had no clue who she was, had never seen her before, but the word that she preached after that, I was like, I called her a beast. After that, I was like, she's a beast with the word. She's a beast with the word. It was something authentic. It was fresh. And to me, I received it so well because of the way she delivered the word. And I don't know, I just felt like an instant connection. Long story short, we wound up talking after. It was like kind of like an instant thing. We kind of gravitated toward each other and we started talking, and we had so much of the same similarities of, like, you know, dealing with weight loss and just I don't want to say unbecoming and becoming, or our authentic selves, from where we were to where we actually are going now. So I just had the pleasure of having her in my life, pleasure of knowing her. And I am going to just say a little bit more as far as she has sister code. She is very, very, very heavy on women empowerment, having sisterhood, and really teaching and showing what that really means, sisterhood. So I'm so happy to have her on tonight, and I am going to shut up for a few moments just to give you a chance to say whatever you want to say before we get into this mature conversation.
Well, I don't really have much to say. I'm just really super excited because, you know, you are one of my heartbeats released in the earth. You are my twin. Prophetically, if anybody wants to know what does that twin mean, that means that we just have this sync connection in the spirit, and it spills out into the natural. And this is not just one of those fly by night relationships. We are like blood, spiritually blood sisters, where we have had disagreements and we have pretty much where it was like, y'all need to go to counseling. But our love and our bond is the real deal. And that is one of those things that helps to also fuel my love and desire for women across the country to know what true sisterhood is.
Yeah.
Embrace it, not be afraid of it, and just be able to love, but also allow yourself to be loved. Oftentimes we've been hurt so bad that it's easy for me to love you, but it's hard for me to let you in to love me because I don't want you to. I know I won't hurt you, but I don't trust you. That's not sisterhood. That's not relationship on any level. And so she, you know, Q is just, she's just that thing. You know, if you got this candy bar, we covered in good chocolatey goodness, and she would be the caramel and I would be the nuts because I'm the nutty one. But we would go together. We would fit. We would mesh. Everything would, you know, at the end of the day, we good. We good.
Okay, I've never heard that analogy, but I will take that. I will take it. I will take it. So you actually opened the window for how I wanted to start this conversation. One of the things that triggered this topic for this month was the title is Owning It. What does that mean? Owning the part that you play in your life. A lot of times, whether it's past, present, we have gone through life and we just allow life to happen to us as if we have literally no control. Like, you know, we know that God is in control, yes, but we also have to be a willing participant in how this thing is going. And so sometimes we get into these places of, we're in situations or in different areas of our lives, right? And we just say, oh well, I'm this way because of that person, I'm this way because of how these people are, I'm this way because this happened to me. And we never really take the time to really do inventory spiritually, mentally, to really see what part did we play in where we are in our lives, where we're going, and how things are panning out. And so when she went and we talked about how we met and things like that, I would say I literally told her, I told her before, but I really told her the other day that for me, right, this is not just a conversation for women, but we're going to hone in on that for right now. For me, um, some people look at surface level things, right? For relationships, you know, friendships. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, you know, we like makeup, we love clothes, you know, we love candles, things like that. That's surface level commonalities. But for me, one of the things where I can allow you in my space to be close to me is not because we have a perfect relationship, but because even in friendships, even in sisterhood, in brotherhood, you're going to come against some things in your relationships where it's like, okay, we need to have an honest conversation. I need to be able to tell you, hey, you offended me in some way. I need to be able to tell you, well, you know, I don't really like this or like that, whatever it is. So the real authenticity of a relationship, to me, for me, would be being able to get through those things and still be fine afterward. Because we all
Yep.
know, we've been there even probably since grade school, right? Where you could have had a best friend or a girlfriend or something like that. And one little issue can happen and then y'all no longer friends anymore. And it's like, well, what happened? But where's the authenticity? To me, in that, the authenticity in that is owning things. So if Tish was to come to me and say, hey sis, I love you, but this is what's been on my heart and this is what's bothering me, I could do one or two things. Well, you know, that's your problem if it's bothering you, or, you know, X,
Yep.
Y, and Z. Or because I value my relationship with her, I'd be like, even if I don't agree, I might not see it, and I'd be like, you know, that wasn't my intent. And so for me, that's what I told Tish. We had a conversation, and I felt like no matter what conversation her and I have had, we've been able to have a mature conversation. We respect one another's feelings. We honor one another's feelings, and we're able to move on. And to me, that is so important. And so that's how that one of the main things about owning it, owning your roles in your life, owning roles and owning things in your relationships. So I just wanted to get on how that opened up. So I want to ask you, when you hear literally like own your stuff, what does that, how do you perceive that? What does that mean to you? Own your stuff. What do you gather from that?
Well, when you think about owning something, you take ownership of it. It belongs to you. You have it. And, you know, you do whatever it is you choose to do with it, but it's
Mm-hmm.
yours to do it with. And
Right.
so if someone tells me to own my feelings, okay, I'm thinking I need to acknowledge these feelings, not just take them and
Right.
hold them in. I need
Mm-hmm.
to acknowledge these feelings. I need to work out why I feel the way I'm feeling. Is it really
Right.
because of this person, or is it something within me that I just haven't worked out yet? In
Right.
any event, when you own something, you
Mm-hmm.
take responsibility for it.
Right.
If I
Right.
own this child, these are my children, you're not responsible
Mm-hmm.
for them. I am. If I own
Right.
this vehicle, you're not responsible for paying that car note. I am. You're not
That's right.
responsible for gassing it up. If I
Oh,
own the house, it's not your responsibility to clean it. It's not your
right.
responsibility to pay not a light bill or anything in it. I have to, that's my responsibility. Why? Because I own it. So we should be that way even in our relationships. Own
Mm-hmm.
the role that you play. Take responsibility for the access you've been given
Right.
and
Right.
don't misuse it. When you own something, especially something that you value, you're going to treat it right.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want the car note or you don't want the house note, what do? You don't purchase the house, you don't purchase the car. So then
Right.
you should see it just like that with your relationships. If you don't want to be responsible for feelings, if you don't
Uh-huh.
want to be responsible for apologies, if you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be responsible for those silent moments where you think that a gift or a broad post or something like that will cause the person that you offended or hurt it or slighted or whatever it was, you think that's going to get them back in good standings with you.
Mm-hmm.
If these are the things that you do, then guess what? Don't take ownership of that relationship and just not get involved with it. Don't
Right. Right.
co-sign it. Don't get on the lease or whatever. Just don't get involved with it, because at
Right.
the end of the day, it's going to speak volumes about your character,
Mm-hmm.
about your integrity, and about the intentions of your heart.
Yeah.
And anything that you have built up that's good, it takes 10 times that to build it back up once it's been tarnished and destroyed.
Right. 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 You are right. You are right. I love it. I love it. I love it. I feel like, again, a lot of times we don't, let's go outside of friendship, right? And connection
Mm-hmm.
as far as ownership. I'm going to be honest. We're not doing, pass the hat right now, right?
Nope.
We having a good girlfriend conversation, right?
That's
How
right.
many
That's right.
times have how many times have we'll like complain about something. We'll complain about, let's go to relationships. We'll complain about something that we're dealing with. And then you'll be a listening ear, or someone will be a listening ear to you. But then at the end of the day, you like, but you got into this thing, right? So what part do you play in where you wound up in your relationship? And so even in romantic relationships, we really have to take ownership of how we got there. So are we taking ownership of, okay, if we're in a toxic relationship with a guy, or if a guy's in a toxic relationship with a female, let's own those things. What was it in me that allowed me to connect to this person? And I feel like we don't do that enough. We really don't. We don't take the time to take the inventory to be like, hey, you know what? I can see how back then I connected with this person, because at that time I was just lonely and I wanted to be with someone. And so I ignored the red flags. You know what I mean? Or I can see how I got hooked up with in this friendship, because at the time I just was lonely and I was going through a breakup, and this person was just around, so I decided to spend a lot of time. And then you realize, well, okay, this might not be the best thing for me. I just think that we don't own our roles that we play. Like, life is not just happening to us, we play a part in it. So what do you say about that? Like, what do you tell a person right now? I use the term, and I've had it used on me. At first, I used to be offended. I had someone in my life in the past that would be like, you're not a victim. He would tell me all the time, Shaquana, you're not a victim. And I'm like, well, I am a victim because this is what's happening to me. And he's like, no, you're not a victim. No, it may not be all your fault about why things are happening, but when you retrain your mind to say, hey, I do have a role I can play in getting out of this situation to get somewhere better. And so I would say, what do you say to a person right now that might feel or be in a cycle of like victimhood? Like, every single thing that happens is just happening to them, but they don't take any ownership of, well, how did we get to this place? What would you tell them to kind of coach them to get out of that mindset?
Well, one of the first things that in coaching, one of the first things that I have asked the individual is, did that person force you into the relationship?
Mm.
Okay. So you willingly stepped into this relationship, be it a friendship or something more. Did you come willingly, or were you forced into this and now you can't get out? Okay, well, no, I came into this willingly. Okay.
Right.
Now, were you aware of any red flags before you entered in?
There you go. Yeah.
Based off of that answer, if they said no, they were not aware, then my next question will be, well, at what point did you become aware? At what point did you start seeing little signs? Because there are signs. Even if we don't choose to acknowledge them, we still see them.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
We still see them.
Yep.
If you know that this person is nasty, they don't clean the bathroom. Every time you go behind them into the bathroom is nasty. You got to clean the bathroom. You mean to tell me that's not a red flag that you see? You see it.
Right.
Okay. You see, you
Right.
know your child messed up this room, but you're going to walk in here and act like you don't see the mess on the floor? No, you
Right.
see it. You acknowledge it by you reprimanding the child, and then either you have them help you clean it up, they clean it up by themselves, or you clean it up. But either way, you see it, you know it.
Right.
If you are seeing these signs and you are choosing not to acknowledge them, our conversation can't go any further because there's not going to be any accountability.
See, I love how it just flows, because that it literally is my next word.
There's not going to be,
Accountability.
that's not
Yes.
going to be there. But if you see the red flags and you went into this conversation, into this relationship willingly, my next question to you will be then, so what do you think you need to do to get out of it? Actually, do you really want to get out of it?
Right.
Because I have come to find that there are some individuals who thrive on drama.
Dysfunction. Yeah.
And here's the thing. And I had to look at myself and ask this question. Are you in this? Are you choosing to stay in this way because of the attention that you're getting? Do you feel that if you get your life on the right track, that there'll be no more value to you? Have you gotten to that point of needing to be seen and needing to seem important, that you're willing to be important in a negative way? That really you're not important, you're a nuance. You're not important, you're tolerated.
Oh, Jesus.
You're not important, Lord. You're being tolerated. You know, because it's sort of like how you know those people that post up on Facebook, getting ready to go to school, going back to do this, going back to do it. I'm going in my cave to write this book, you know, future author and all of this stuff, right? And get hundreds of likes. Oh, you can do it. I can't wait. I'm going to purchase it. Da, 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 da. 6 months go by, nothing.
Yeah.
They come back out and they post something close to it or something different, but still with the same effect. I don't want to get the attention for doing what I say I'm doing. I just want the attention that comes with saying that I'm doing something, even though I'm doing nothing. And so you're in this relationship and you stay there because, girl, let me tell you, girl, what happened? You know, they I don't know what that saying is about. Is it you feed a fever and starve a cold, or you feed a cold and starve a fever? But drama.
All right, I never heard that one.
But when it comes to drama, if you starve it, it goes away.
Yes.
It has to find another outlet to feed it.
Yeah.
And so if you're staying, if this type of individual wants to stay there, then the only thing I can tell you is, well, honey, guess what? I'm here. I may be a little higher up the next time you come back because I'm still progressing in life. But that doesn't mean I won't look back to see where you are. I didn't say I'm going to go back to where you are. I will look back and I'll let you know you're going to have to step up even higher if you want some assistance, because this is the time where you can't waste your greatness. And I'm not trying to sound arrogant or pompous, but if people knew my story in the manner that Q knows my story, then they would understand. There's nothing pompous about me. There's nothing arrogant about me. There's nothing conceited about me, but there's everything about me that knows who I am now. And I know my worth. And my worth and my time, I'm valuable. And so I'm not going to waste my time going around in circles.
Guess what? Now, tell me if you agree or not. For you to have known and come to the realization of your value, which is where I'm going, right? You had to take inventory and take ownership in the things in your life that was not going right. And that's what I love about anyone taking ownership of their stuff, where they fall short at, where they know they might like a little dysfunction, where they know they might have a little bit of laziness, where they know they might have a little bit of procrastination, those type of things. It took for you, it had to have any type of evolution, any type of growth had to take a level of honesty. And I love that so much. It's not an easy process, but this is where I felt like we really needed to have this conversation, because everybody, at the top of the year is declaring and claiming, and this is going to be my year, this is going to be my time, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, no more of this, no more of that, all of that, and that is fine. But I've come to the realization you cannot get up those steps to where you're going without accountability and being, I call them mirror moments. Having those mirror moments where you literally have to look in
Yes.
the mirror and say, you know what? I am, and solely I am the reason why I am not further than where I am right now. Like, I am not all because Joe Schmo did so and so. Oh, not because this person did that. Oh, not because you gotta own it.
But
You
I
have to
can't blame
own.
nobody else for it. I can't
I
blame nobody else.
can't. I
I
can't.
can't. I can't
No,
make it in life blaming other people
no, you can't. And
for what I
so,
allowed.
for what you allowed, for what you decided to not take control of in your life, for what you allowed to want to stay in. And so, to get any evolution, right, you have to have a level of honesty. And so, I'm not a Debbie Downer. I push, I'll push you. You want to do X, Y, and Z, go do it. X, Y, and
Push.
Z, push, 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 push. But I'll come to the realization, I can't, you can't, we can't push other people but so much if they have not come to a mirror moment, so that all of the stuff that they need to own and clear out and sift through, so all of those stuff can be dealt with so they can function healthily. And
Yep.
so it's like, I'm just gonna give an example. You ever met somebody, every time you turn around, they getting fired. They getting fired from their job, and it's always their job all the time. It's always their place of employment. It's never your fault.
Everybody's against them.
It's
Yep.
everybody. It's never your fault. You don't own no part in what you play. And I realized that in a lot of some experiences, thank God, man, I'm not talking about my job, but in a lot of experiences, even if, let's say you and I have some type of situation, guess what? You can be in the right about whatever it is, but there's still a role that you might have played where you be like, you know what? I could have handled that just a little bit different, or whatever. And I just think that there is a lack of accountability in people with themselves. Forget about accountability with other people right now, but accountability within themselves. And so I love to hear you say that, as far as, it's not about you being cocky. It's not about you being arrogant or whatever. You have finally come into the realization of who you are, and you're comfortable with that. But it took you to take some ownership of some things that needed to change for you to get to that place. And so, I can't see the comments. I'm sorry. I see a comment.
Oh, I'm reading them. And Larea.
Larea, what she
Whew.
said? Oh.
When I was talking about being valuable and
Uh-huh.
important, Larea said the price went up. I said it went all the way up.
Yes.
She said accountability is life. And that right there, that piece right there, I will use me as an example, because guess what? Tish has no problem with looking in the mirror and be like, girl, you jacked that up, right? And you're going to have to go get that right? You might not do it today, but if you don't want God to get you, you better go and fix that. And so I don't have a problem. Maybe that's why I don't get a lot of prophetic words, because I really literally dig into me. Because if I don't do it, God's coming for me harder. I can't do that. I can't do that. Be it pastor today, be it Dr. Tish tomorrow, be it Tish the wife, Tish the mom, Tish the grandmother. I got to deal with me, because God already knows I'm jacked up. I don't know. And I don't need the exposure because I'm trying to hide it. But that accountability is like, I'm going to use me as an example. When Q met me, I was pushing almost 400 pounds. And I wasn't quite there. I had dropped a couple of pounds and everything, but I had reached a point where I had said, you are fat, you are overweight, and you are having all of these health issues because of you.
Right.
Yes, I may have begun to eat and do certain things because of depression, because of the areas I was in. But did I stay there? I did. Did I keep chasing after the people that I wanted to be my sister so bad, but really they only wanted to use me because I wanted to be? I allowed them to mistreat me because I just wanted to be with somebody.
Right.
I wanted to be somebody. I just didn't realize I stopped wanting to be me.
You were already somebody, not realizing.
I stopped wanting to be me because I was allowing other people to hurt me. And not saying it was, again, it wasn't all their fault. But the fact that you knew you were doing me wrong, that's something you got to own up to.
Right.
But don't get upset with me because now I'm owning up to it. Why is it that we can own up to the wrong we do to others, but when we acknowledge what others do to us and decide enough is enough?
Right.
God said, I got to love you. He didn't say I had to be with you.
Right.
He didn't say I had to stay in close quarters. My husband and I, we joke about this thing, forgive and forget, right? And he always says, but woman of God, you got to forget. You can't hold on. Woman of God. Come on, woman of God. And Q can laugh because she knows that's her brother. And she knows he goes off the deep end with that. And I'm like, Martise, listen, I will forgive, but I will never forget. Not forgetting does not mean that I am keeping tabs. Not forgetting doesn't mean that I am holding things over your head.
Yes.
Remembering keeps me, hush up, Martise. Remembering keeps me from falling back in that same space and losing more of what I just got back.
Right.
I have the right to remember. Why do you think that when, and my grandbaby says this all the time, when I'm in the kitchen and I'm at my stove and she's in the kitchen with me, y'all, if y'all know my grandbaby, y'all know she in every part of the house that I'm in. If I'm there, that's where she's at. You see, like the best friend, you see her, you see me, you see me, you see her. She comes in the kitchen and automatically she looks at the stove, hot. Mimi, hot. Stove ain't even on. She'll go up to it and she'll touch the door because she knows the door is not hot. But she'll touch it and she'll say, hot. How did she get to that? She remembers this is hot. And when she feels that heat, she does not come near the stove. Why? Because she remembers. So she does not. Now, if I forgave all of the men that I allowed to mistreat me, wasn't a lot, but it was enough to make me depressed and not like myself. But if I forgave them, but didn't remember what it felt like, didn't remember where it put me at, didn't remember the mindset that it changed me to where I didn't love myself anymore because I gave so many pieces of myself to them, expecting them to love me better than I was supposed to love me. But if I forget, who's to say I'm not going to keep going back into that vicious cycle of letting them continue to do what they want to do to me and not learn my lesson? We continue toxic circles because we don't try to just forgive and move forward, whether it's with them or without them. We want to forgive and act like everything is cool. It is not. If you hurt them or they hurt you, that is not okay. And it is definitely not okay if we are not taking responsibility and apologizing. Do not apologize to me across Facebook. It's one thing when you do.
End of the year post. If anybody I offended, whoever I offended, I apologize to everybody.
And how many in your now see, here's another thing. Now we want people to own stuff, right? So we get up and we put this generic post up, if anything and blah 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 blah, right? If we really owned up to it, how many people would be calling your phone then? How many people would be in your inbox? How many people would be commenting right on that post saying, you don't need to be up here doing this. We need to have a conversation. I don't accept this apology. You're forgiven, but I'm not forgiving you because of what you just posted up here. I'm forgiving you because I choose to live free of you.
Right. That right there.
We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. That's right. Keep your
Fairy tale
Facebook fairy
forgiveness.
tale forgiveness. Yes, keep it. I want reality. Reality says, I hurt my sister, and Q knows how I feel about her. Anytime you calling them on the phone and you asking them, you gonna talk to me? I need a moment. I just need time. And this is what helping people is about. We got to be transparent.
Right.
I told y'all, me and Q have the best sister bond because she can check me. I can check her. We can be quiet. We don't like it, but we know our value in each other's lives. I can't see me doing life without her. She's not that one that God sent for the moment and gonna fall off on the wayside. After you have your journey, somebody comes on, somebody falls off, another person comes on. No, this is my ride and live in a sister. This is when I say my twin, I mean that. I mean that.
And that's exactly why. That's exactly why I say that. When I say,
we own it. Exactly.
Own it.
And see, I own it. And honey, let me tell you something. When you love them, you gonna own it, but you ain't gonna like it.
Right.
And listen, I had to go a few days without her speaking to me. Oh God. That's like that correction when your mom takes something from you.
That
like,
long.
I don't want that to happen. It felt like 2 weeks. It felt like 2 weeks for real. Anytime that now here's the difference though. I can go without talking to her like on the phone or FaceTime for a number of days. That's fine. But let it be 3 or 4 days and I'm going by and I ain't get a text. And I know I haven't texted her. Oh no, wait, hey, we good? You all right? What's up? Do I need to come by here? Where do I need to go? Who we need to talk to? What's up? You okay? You sick? What's going on? But when you know you wronged them, owning it up sometimes comes in the form of sucking it up. Admittance. I hurt you. I know I hurt you. I can only apologize if I could rewind the time. And we're not saying these things because it's a part of the apology clause. No.
Right.
When you hurt someone that you love, you will say, God, can I not have this mark on our relationship? Can I not have this mark? But you know what?
Because you value
that
it.
is something that I learned from. And you better believe that ain't going to never happen again. Ever. Okay? Ever. No. But I say that to say it hurt, but it would have hurt me more to not. How dare you go through life thinking you ain't never got to apologize for nothing. And then you have the audacity to blame the devil. You got the audacity to blame this person. You have the audacity. How do you even fix your lips to say the devil is busy? No, you busy. You are busy doing nothing. You're doing all of the wrong things. And then you're placing blame on everything and everybody else. And you keep, this y'all can use this if you want to. Let me tell you something. When you look at certain people, and you ain't got to be spiritually deep either. You ain't got to be a prophet, a pastor. You ain't even got to be a man or woman of God. You could just say, look, I know God. He is real and I'm coming. But when I look at that person, they look really, really jacked up. You know why? This is why a person looks jacked up. I could not make my face look like this if I did not do it looking in a mirror.
Hello.
And they are bypassing that accountability mirror.
Yeah.
They are not fixing their integrity clause. They're not making sure their character clothing is right. They're not making sure that their mental of understanding right from wrong and accountability is right. They are bypassing that and thinking the natural outward appearance will shield and cover their jacked up ugliness on the inside. But baby, brother, it will not. You will be seen. And this is the other thing. Real love recognizes its own reflection. Somebody needs to put that in the comments. Real love recognizes its own
Listen,
reflection. And
it
I can honestly
does.
say that's right, Naquita. Baby,
It
when I looked
does.
at Q, my heart said, I recognize her. No, it wasn't my mind. My heart, that area, because honestly, your mind and your heart are really one
Mm-hmm.
member operating in two functions.
Mm-hmm.
And so when my heart said, I recognize her, my mind co-signed it and sealed it.
Right, right, right,
Real
right,
love
right.
recognizes its own reflection. So if
Yes.
the love you have in your heart, the genuineness to love people honestly, even if you have to love them from a distance,
Mm-hmm.
if you have that real love, you better believe that person that keeps walking past that accountability mirror and thinking that the bathroom mirror is it, they're going to be revealed to you every time.
All the
Every
time.
time.
All the time. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is why I wanted to have this conversation. And I
This
said,
is
listen,
good.
it is. It is
And
because
necessary.
it's good and it's necessary. I really, you're not always like, oh, I want everybody to win. That's true. I want everybody to win. But before you can win, right, you have to look at yourself and do the inventory of where you fall short at in your relationships or whatever. And I love what you said about real love recognizes its own reflection. The first thing that came to my mind when you said that was, sometimes you don't know, let's say sometimes you don't know if you've offended someone that you love, or you don't know that you did anything wrong or whatever. But there are times you'll feel the conviction and be like, hold on a minute. Nobody has to come to you and say, hey, I feel that this way, or hey, you wronged me, or hey, this didn't go right, or what happened with this. You'll acknowledge it immediately, again, because that's the real love you have for that person. I don't know. I think he's I don't know what he's doing with the kids or whatever. But just the other day, me and Robert were in the car and I was tuned out. Okay, tuned out. He was about to start saying something to me, and I assumed he was gonna start talking about like a specific topic. So he was like, "Oh yeah, I've been wanting to talk to you," and immediately, you know how you think out loud, right? I said,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh God!" Like as soon as he said yes. See, I'm telling on myself. You see that? You got to own it. As soon as he said, "Oh yeah, I want to talk to you," and I said, "Oh God." The moment it left my mouth, I said, "Oh my God, that was rude," to myself. I said, "Oh my God," I
Mm-hmm.
said, "I'm so sorry. That was absolutely rude." But guess what? When you really love people, when you really value them, you're going to check yourself, right? You're going to own when you mess up, because you want to make sure that whatever that you can do, whatever role that you play in potentially hurting them, that you don't want to do that. So you're going to own it. And so let's move on from like the relationship. We can be on that all night. Different
Can
aspects
I
of
just say one
relationship.
thing? Can
Uh-huh.
I say one thing that just hit me regarding when you love someone, you'll take ownership.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to
Yep.
drop this. We could park this car and go take a walk and finish our talk. But I'm going to park the car right here and get out so we could just get some air, right? If you love them, you will check yourself, right?
Yep.
Pastors, are you listening? Okay? I just want to drop that right there. Because you can't love the people of God and then you hurt them and then you
Mm-hmm.
manipulate them
Mm-hmm.
into feeling responsible for
Mm-hmm.
what you did to them. No,
Right.
ma'am, no, sir. No,
Right.
ma'am, no, sir. And I tell you what,
Yeah.
you're better off correcting it here than trying to
Right.
correct it before the throne. That's it.
Yeah.
Not trying to be spiritual or deep, but real is real.
Yes.
Truth is
Yep.
truth. And I'm a pastor,
Yep.
so I'm not exempt. So I
Right.
have to check me. Otherwise, you disqualify yourself from covering
Right.
anybody, from being anybody's shepherd. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have the weight that is necessary to help,
Yep.
lead,
Yep.
correct, rebuke, none of it. Because the
Yep.
pastor has to experience all of that. We got to rebuke ourselves and be willing to be rebuked.
Yes, and humble ourselves. Listen, just the other day, I think I over apologized and over explained myself to one of my members. I was like, okay, I just want to make sure they understand that we're good. I just want to make sure they understand that I didn't know. And so again,
Exactly.
that word accountability. That means nobody is exempt from accountability. First, being
I don't care what
accountable
title
to
you
yourself.
carry. I don't care what
That's
position
it.
you have.
That's it.
None of it.
That's it.
I don't care what you have. Because guess what? The word does says what you do to the least of them. The
Mm-hmm.
least. I'm a pastor, but guess what? I'm the least. Why? Because I am
Hello.
a lead servant. And lead servant don't mean I'm the leader of the church. Lead servant means I am the one that should be showing you how to lead
Leading in
first, how to
integrity,
serve.
leading in
I should be
accountability.
leading. I should be leading the way to teach you
Yep.
how to serve by being a servant.
Yep.
And anybody that knows me, I will go up into a house that I know is flowing full of God. And if I don't see that the first lady or the pastor, the female pastor, is not being covered, my heart says, "Can I cover you tonight while we're here?"
Mm.
If
Mm.
I see her go to the bathroom and nobody goes with her, I'm going with her to the bathroom. And let me help y'all understand. So I just want to drop this right quick and we can move on. Armor bearers bear arms. That means if Q goes to the bathroom and nobody goes with her, I'm going with her because I am going to help protect her.
Mm.
Something could happen to her, and it doesn't have to be a third party. She could go to the bathroom and fall. Y'all all in there shouting and everything. Everybody running around. She in the back bleeding. She
Oh,
twists her
Jesus.
ankle. She can't get up. The music is playing. Nobody hears her hollering. She doesn't have her phone. We are there to cover one another. So if someone
Yes.
has an armor bearer, before you judge what it is that they're there for or why they're there, I don't know why I had to drop that, but that is still
Mm-hmm.
another part of accountability, humility, servanthood, all of these things about
Right.
owning it. I'm not above because I'm a pastor that I can't not serve another
Right.
pastor.
Right.
So I'm not
Right.
above apologizing to someone
Mm-hmm.
simply because I have a better title than they might.
You better be
Because if
leading and
God has to forgive,
apologizing.
if I got to ask Christ for forgiveness, you ain't exempt. I got to ask
Right.
you for forgiveness
Yep.
because I hurt you.
That's it.
That's all.
That's it. That's it. That's it. I cannot believe we are literally almost an hour in. So we got about another 7, 8 minutes. So this is good. I feel like we should be sipping some coffee right now. Oh, I got water tonight. But I am you
I
got
got
water.
both.
So I really, really was excited about having this mature conversation. I really pray that every single person watching, whoever you share this with and they decide to watch, really just take a moment. Take off any defenses. I apologize. I self-reflect. No, really just take a moment. I just really feel like we all need to just take a moment and do it on a consistent basis. Not beat yourself up about mistakes or whatever, but just really take a moment. And again, not just your relationships. What she said.
Lorraine, I'm going to have to talk to you about that. I got to
The
talk to you about
writing
that.
is
I
in
got
the
an
writing is
espresso.
in white. I can't really
I
see
got
the
an
writing
espresso
until they go up.
machine. I got an espresso machine, baby. You're going to have to
Good
talk. I'm
night.
going to talk to you about that offline. Offline.
uh, so it's like we have to do that self-inventory, not just with our relationships, our friendships, but let's go broader. Let's take ownership of us, what we need to change, what we need to stop doing. Like we have so many cycles that we've continued for years and years and years. Oh, this is just how I am. This is just how I operate. Well, how you operate was working for you, you will be a lot further in your career. If how you operate was working for you, you might have a husband or a wife right now. If how you were operating worked for you, you would be in a different position than where you are. And so I just truly feel that we really need to take that inventory, that self-inventory with ourselves to be like, you know what? This is where I want to be in life. I'm not there. I can't blame Tina. I don't even know who Tina is. I can't blame Tina. I can't blame Tish. I can't blame Larea. I can't blame my husband. I can't blame my wife. I have to look at myself and do the work. Do the
That's
work.
right.
And guess
That's
what?
right.
Sometimes that work, or not sometimes, all the time, that work entails you having that mirror moment and really being honest with yourself about where you are, those things you need to change. And sometimes you might need help. You might need to lay out and prostrate yourself on somebody's couch and talk for a while. I'm going to keep saying
That's
that
right.
because I'm going to continue to say that. Sometimes taking ownership and sometimes owning your roles and stuff. Because sometimes some people literally, when you remember when you said they pass by the mirror and they never really take the time, some people literally have been passing the mirror their whole entire adult life. And so they've taken on a whole different identity other than what their authentic self is. So they can't even take ownership of things because they are so oblivious to it. And so,
Look,
listen,
that's right.
they,
Therapy is therapeutic.
it
Look,
is. It is.
when I began to lose weight, my husband had me cracking up one day. We went to a service and I literally was behind my husband talking to someone else. So I almost had my back to him. And a mutual friend of ours came up and it was like, hey, how are you? It was like, where's your wife? Where's Pastor Tish? Da, 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 da. He said, she right here. Oh my God, you are so beautiful. You look amazing. The real people that have seen me all my life, they say you were beautiful then, but now you're beautiful and happy and healthy. So the only thing that changed was I downsized and I got healthy. But the other thing that changed was, and I have to, because I am a pastor. So, you know, I have that relationship, I have that walk, so I have to go there. But the other thing that happened was they saw that I knew who I was.
Mm-hmm.
When people say, oh my God, you look so different. No, I look free. I haven't been around you. I haven't been around you. And so when they say, oh, I didn't even recognize you, that's because I'm not that depressed being that you thought I would remain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I didn't even know that, which I didn't even recognize. That's right, because you don't recognize healthy, happy, honest, accountable people. There are people that are looking you dead in your face and don't know, they don't recognize you because you are no longer the doormat that they once had. They see you, and because, you know, people that don't want to celebrate you, you get married. They don't want to celebrate you. Why? Because they know the good person that you are. So they know the phenomenal wife or husband you're going to be. And they know the jacked up, nasty person that they currently are and refuse to change. So they know you're going to have an amazing relationship with the ups and the downs. But this is what we have got to understand. If you are not willing to take accountability for yourself, 5 years from now, when you're still sitting at this table and everybody else has moved on, you have nobody to blame but yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Pastors want to know why their ministries are still where they are. Actually, if you take a closer look, your ministry remains where your last offenses were released. So the last time you heard a group of people and they moved on, your ministry is still stuck in that time lock. It's still stuck in that vault of pain, that vault of offense. You can't seem to move past it. You're going from year to year, but you are not progressing kingdom-wise. You wonder why your friendships are failing, because you're taking them for granted.
Right.
Tonight, we stopped being taken for granted.
Right.
And guess what? If you think I think I'm better than you, thank you for thinking I'm thinking right. And the reason I can say I am better than you is because I choose to be humble. I choose to be accountable. So that does make me better. Why? Because I choose to cut myself before I need to be cut by God. I choose to cover myself and expose myself to God instead of having him uncover me and expose me before the people. I am better. I do think I look better. I do think I feel better.
Yep.
Why? Because I'm not carrying the weight of embarrassment. Let me tell you something.
Right.
Anybody that's walking around and not apologizing and walking around and not asking for forgiveness and walking around and not getting it right, don't be fooled. That, first of all, that's a distraction. You are meant to focus. In order for you to not progress forward, you're meant to focus on what they are not getting right and thinking they're living their best life. No, baby,
Right.
they're just working extra hard so that
Mhm.
other people will think that they are still progressing in the kingdom,
Right.
that they're still
Right.
having a good match, that they're still having good, that their money is still flowing. Anytime
Right.
you hurt God's people and you happen to be one of his people, you're still
Uh-huh.
going to get that correction, because
Yes,
no
you will.
respect of person. No respect
Yes,
of
you
person.
will.
No respect of
That's
person.
right.
And when you step back and let him have his way, baby, you get to live a lot freer. Let me tell you
Right.
something. I got 2 grandbabies. My oldest daughter just turned, what is this, 2000 and what? 22. She just turned
22.
32. She just turned 32. Yes, I have a 32-year-old daughter. I don't look like this because of depression. I don't look like this because of worryation. I look like this because I am in my own lane. I've gotten accustomed to and enjoy minding my own business. My girlfriend Jay says it costs you nothing to mind your
To mind
business.
your own
Minding your
business.
business is free.
Yes.
I'm not losing anything from minding
Right.
my own business. I'm
Right.
gaining everything positive, though, when I do that. I'm not
Mhm.
stressed out about what you're doing over here. I'm not even worried about what you did wrong to me anymore. Why? Because if the word be true, it says vengeance is mine.
Yes,
I
it's
will
his.
recompense. He
Right.
will repay. I
Yeah.
just say, God, while you're getting them, have mercy and let them still be standing.
That's right.
Everybody deserves the right to get it right if
Yes.
they choose to get it right. But at least
Yes.
let me pray for you to have the chance to do so.
Mhm.
So I hope I can help you to understand something, that after tonight, you're not going to worry about the person that's looking like they living their best life and they
Right.
dogged you out. You're not worried about the person that looks like they having good relationships and living the high life after they tried to play you, after they disrespected you, after they just hurt your feelings. It could be a
Right.
major or a minor painful hurt, disrespect,
Mhm.
whatever level it is. An apology is an apology, no matter how big the infraction, no matter how small the disrespect. If
Yep.
if you are due an apology and you don't get it, I understand, because I've been there. I have
Mhm.
been there. I have been there. I will share, and if y'all follow us, you're gonna hear more about my story too. But I've been there, and I don't talk about anything that I have not walked through,
Right.
that I have not
Right.
crawled through, that I have not clawed my way through, that I have not finally gotten to the place where I could stand up, look in the mirror, love all of me,
Right.
and be okay with that if nobody else does. We have got to love ourselves more than anybody else,
Yep.
because in that way, we set the tone of what we will and will not tolerate. And we
Yes.
will not tolerate anybody that's going to love me less than me. You may not love me more than me, but you got to at least level up to the bar. So I hope
Right.
that I can help
Right.
y'all right there.
Yes, 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 yes. My goodness. I know we can stay on all night long, but we have
We
gotten
might
to
have to do a
our
part 2.
exact hour.
Might have to do a part 2.
Listen,
You might have to come on over to my side. Let's do a part 2.
listen. I pray that this conversation has opened up somebody's mind. If you have not already done so, go ahead and share this broadcast, because somebody needs to hear it. Somebody right now is not literally have no clue why they are where they are, and this is the very answer to their question. And so I always say it, we don't want to keep those things to ourselves. We want everybody to win. We want everybody's minds to be elevated and to grow. And so a part of that in growth and helping our brothers and our sisters grow, we have to spread the word of something that we learned, something we got a different perspective of. And so I pray somebody got a different perspective of a view of where their life is, where they are, and finally do that inventory and take ownership. I thank you so much for coming on. And then I also realized you're wearing the hat I bought you for Christmas. I
Wait,
noticed
not
it
just
while
the
you were
hat.
talking.
Not just the hat.
Oh my goodness. Look, you were talking, but you was deep in conversation. And I was like, oh, that's the hat I got. But anyway, I pray that y'all enjoyed this broadcast. Go ahead and share. Hey, Candace, we're about to jump off. I have
And
enjoyed
I
this.
have on the twin bracelet. I have on our twin
Oh,
bracelet.
look, I just threw my watch on. I'm real casual today. But I had fun. You know, I felt like we
I
was
did
in the kitchen
too.
just talking, and I'm
As
excited
we
for
always
next
do.
month. Listen, next month
As
is
we
the month of
always do.
February,
Yes.
and I'm just gonna give a tiny snippet of what's gonna happen next month. Next month, I plan to do a couples edition because some people celebrate Valentine's, some people don't. I do something that's called the Love More Project in the month of February, and then I put it into our ministry. I wanted to grow all the more. So February, even the more, is about love and showing love in different ways, displaying love, especially right now with everything going on. We can't have too much love. So next month, I desire to do a couples edition. So stay tuned. I thank each and every one of you for joining us in this mature conversation. Again, if you have any topics that you want me to discuss, that you want to come on and discuss with me, be sure to just send me a message or send me an email at havematureconversations@gmail.com. Y'all know how to reach me. And Dr. Tish, as I said, she has Sister Code where she goes live and she has conversations talking about sisterhood and women and different things. And then her women empowerment. I empower you. I pray I said that right. I
Yes, you
empower
did.
you. And so you can also follow her on her social media platforms as well. And I'm just excited for next month. I'm excited for Mature Conversations growing all the more. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you next month, every fourth
Hold on.
Monday.
Hold on. Larea says she would like to leave us with something.
What she want to leave us with?
I don't know. What
Can
you
I
want to
leave
leave us
y'all with
with, Larea?
something? Attract what you expect, reflect what you desire, become what I can't see it because it's in white. It's blending in
Become
with your
what you
shirt.
respect. She said, attract what you expect, reflect what you desire, become what you respect, mirror what you admire.
I love it. I
That's
love it.
fire. That's
I love it.
fire.
So
Yes,
yes, y'all,
yes,
I have
and
to
yes.
say, Larea is my best friend. Listen, we've been friends. I have four best friends and sisters.
Hey, best
People are like,
friend.
how can you have more than one best? Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
They fit different parts of who you are.
Listen, so I gotta shout out Larea. Larea, we have known each other since what, 2007, 2008. I can't even calculate how long that's been, but long enough. We not friends no more. We blood, we family. But anyway, I
That's
thank you
it.
all so much for watching. And I am gonna go ahead and head out because guess what? I got work in the morning. I know y'all, I hope y'all got work in the morning too. You
I
got work
got
in the
work in the
morning?
morning, but I'm about to have some boo time first, okay? I'm looking
Yes.
cute too, so I might as well put this to use.
Listen, boo time is always in order for the married folk, ain't it?
Hello. I'm looking real cute too.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. I love
Shout
you
out to Q for the hat
too.
and the bracelet.
All right, guys. So every fourth Monday at 8 p.m., join us here for Mature Conversations. Thank you so much. Love you. Bye.
Thank you.